Hello everyone, this is Splinter here with a channel update because it's been a while since we've done one of those. I think now's about the right time to do that. So, well, so we're doing it. So first things first, I think I'm just going to start by going down the channel or the schedule list. So Monday and Friday. I believe we will still be doing Fighters Anthology for at least the next year or so, if not longer, because between the base game itself and all the and then I know USN Raptor wanted me to try out some of his mods, so I'll probably be playing through those as well, which, you know, could very easily turn into like another full iteration of the game. So I think that's what we'll be doing. So that is going to go on for at least the next year. So I mean, just for what we have left in the game, we probably have about 25 more episodes for just the Russian campaign, and then maybe another 5 to 10 for aircraft showcase quick missions, and then another 5 to 10 for the single missions, and then we still have the Baltics campaign, which is probably going to be around another 50, and then that's going to be going to have its own single missions, and then aircraft showcases, and then after that we have all the other single missions that aren't associated with a campaign, and those will take a while. So I think just with those we have possibly at least another year of content just to finish the game up. Not to mention the, you know, doing USN Raptors mods. So that's not going away anytime soon. So, and I think at this point that's really all I have to say about that. Okay, so that's Monday and Friday. Now Tuesday, that is Secret Files. That will actually be finishing up the week this video goes live. So because I'm recording this on the actually the same day that right after the I recorded Secret Files 3, October 6th, Sunday. So that is that's going to be replaced by Secret Files Sam Peters to kind of finish the that series up. And I think what we'll find is after Sam Peters is done, not to get too ahead of myself, but after that's done, I expect that I'll probably move on to let's see, probably the is it Lost Horizons it's called? It's whatever the other game is that was made by Animation Arts and Deep Silver, because they did make 2 more games that, from the sounds of it, are really good, and I want to try those out. So that's basically Tuesday. Wednesday, we that's Delta Force 2, so that only has about 4 episodes left, I think, give or take. So that that we can expect to be finished pretty soon. Maybe even by the start of next month, and that will be replaced by Delta Force Land Warrior when that's done. Just kind of continue the Delta Force series here. So you can look forward to that. Hopefully we can look forward to higher resolutions, but I guess we'll find out. I'd like to make it run at least 1 level higher than... you missed a 95? How? Then, than what we have right now, which is I think Delta Force 2 runs in 1024 by 768, and even that took a little finagling. It's not actually like, it's supported, but you had to you had to edit files to turn that on. It's not like an option you can choose from the menus, which is a little silly, but especially since, like, one of the selling points of the game was, hey, we support this resolution. It's like, yeah, but I had to modify you to get you to support it. But, you know, whatever. So, in any case, Wednesday, within the next month or so, look for that to be replaced by Delta Force Land Warrior. And then Thursday is 0 Hour, and that's another one that's going to be going on for probably a year or so. You can, just because, I mean, each of the General's challenges takes, if I do one episode a week, that's anywhere from 7 to 9 weeks. And with, because the number of Generals you face in each challenge varies a little bit. Some are 7, I think some go up to 9 or 8. So that's definitely probably close to a year's worth of content if I actually do all the challenges, which I'm planning on doing. So as it stands, we're only about, I think after this week's episode, we'll be like halfway through Dr. Thrax's challenge, so we've got a ways to go yet. So that's the main schedule. Now I do also want to talk about Star Trek Judgement Rites. So that I know I've been really slow on. I am finishing it. You know, it hasn't gone away. It's just I think I might have briefly mentioned it in the last episode, but for the past like 6 months, I've just been so busy with working overtime and such that well, I haven't had a chance to do anything with it on the weekends. It was, you know, all I could do to just get my you know, my standard Let's Plays up, and even those I fell behind a little in, because I normally like to do have like a 2-week buffer. But right now, I don't even have that. You know, I'm recording episodes the weekend they go, well, the weekend before they go up, essentially. Which is not great. Because that means if anything does happen, like if I have to travel for work again or something like that, or if I go and visit home, which is a thing I'm also planning on doing, I don't have time to do anything. Actually, is this? Yeah, okay, so we're going to lead into this a little bit, but there's a reason I'm playing Fallout for this video. But in any case, for now, I would expect, I'm hoping to get 1 hit point, really? I'm hoping to get, Star Trek Judgement Rites finished, hopefully within the next month. Oh, hey, there was one of you. But, that depends on work, which for now isn't making me do any overtime or anything. So, I hope to have those out and released, so that way it can be done. And then, I think after that, my plan was to move on to Starfleet Academy. But, there's going to be a little bit of a wait for that, and there's going to be a reason for that, because there's also another game I want to play, and that would be Fallout. Now, Fallout is one of my all-time favorite game series. Absolute favorite. Now, I'd never had the chance to play Fallout 2 or Fallout Tactics as a kid, but in high school, I got introduced to the franchise through through Fallout 3, which I started with a pirated copy on my computer that didn't even work half the time, which I found out like 6 months later I had to download a pirate patch for it. Then I eventually bought that for when I got to college and actually had spending money. And then Fallout 3 was just a game I absolutely loved. Like, I played through it the first time, and oh, she wants me to put away my weapon. Anyways, I played through it for the first time, and, you know, I beat the game readily enough, but I missed so much. So when I went back and played it again, there's just so much to discover. And even that next time I didn't discover anything. And, you know, it was like that with Vegas, too, you know. When it first came out, pirated the copy, ran through it in about 30 hours. This was before all the DLC came out. You know, so, and I loved it, so I wanted to make it my next game that I purchased, which I promptly did, along with all the DLC, once those came out. And that was another game where it's like, okay, I did the game the first time. The first time, you know, I went through it relatively quickly, but then, you know, I took my time in the later bits of it. You know, I just discovered so much. Like, I've put 1,000 hours into Fallout New Vegas, and I've never beaten it besides the, like, first time that I played it. Just because there's always that much to do, especially when you add in modding, which just expands the game so much. So, and for those who have stuck around since the beginning of this channel, or who are still around from the beginning of this channel, which I don't know how many of you there are, I tried to do like a kind of it wasn't really a Let's Play. It was more like, I guess, a machinima or narrative Let's Play, depending on what you call it. I'll probably think of an actual name to call it, but in any case, my dream has always been to just fully immerse myself in this world and to make a story. Or several stories, as the case may be. And, I think I'm getting to the point where I can kind of bring that dream to fruition now, at least up to New Vegas, I imagine. So that's going to be what my next big project is. We'll be making a cinematic story adventure type thing for Fallout. And so that's kind of why you see me playing Fallout 1 right now, which I've been playing just to get good at it. And eventually I plan to... I'm basically, right now, I'm in the early... Really? Have I fully healed? Okay. I'm in the early stages of planning for this, but this is going to be a lot more detailed than my previous Let's Plays. As it stands, I'm making 2 characters. One is going to be like a good character that'll be a do-gooder, and then one's going to be an evil character, you know, just because it's boring to play as good all the time. And the goal will be to I'm basically going to mod those into the game as preset or pre-made characters, so that way they'll have their, you know, the little history and all that stuff. So hopefully that will you know, make it a little bit you know, more immersive, you know, like I'm actually playing someone. And so I'm in the early stages of that. I got a character portrait for one. I still need to get a character portrait for the evil character. And basically, I'm going to play through the game twice and do it in a narrative fashion each time. And so that's my long-term goal. And this is going to include some rather big changes, like there will be title cards, cover art, just all that sort of stuff. And that's going to take a while. So I'm not going to put a schedule on that. I think trying to schedule Star Trek even was a mistake once those copyright strikes started coming in. Or not strikes, but claims. Which, fortunately, I do want to praise CBS on this. They're really good about it now, because when I put in my counterclaim, because they always tag the intro to the game, where Kirk's doing his narrative and the Enterprise is flying around, that title intro kind of. They always take that as being from an episode of Star Trek. Different episodes, but always, from an episode, which I find hilarious. But CBS is really good. Like, when I filed my counterclaim, they're normally pretty good about lifting it within a day. And it used to take, I think it took 4 to 6 weeks the first time around, or something like that. But now it's just okay, it comes up within a few hours being uploaded, then I file my counterclaim, and then a day or two later they lift it, which is really great. So I do want to praise them for that, because they're, say what you will about CBS, they've been probably one of the better companies when it comes to that sort of thing. So that's been really nice. And as a result of me trying to up the quality of that series, it's it's going to take longer to produce. Specifically right now, other than making the mod that I want to make to getting my pre-made characters in. The only... How could I not get there? Oh, that's in the... Oh, did I miss the locker? But other than the stuff I'm going to mod in, the pre-made characters, the thing I'm waiting for that one is I am also waiting for the next version of Fallout Fixed. Now, Fixed is a mod that basically fixes in all the bugs that were left in the game that weren't fixed by the official patches. It fixes the... it adds in some cut quests, you can actually report Iguana Bob to the police, and there will be consequences for that, mainly that you gain experience and he goes away and stops selling human flesh, and other such things. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I was surprised that it was still being worked on even. But, I looked at the No Super Mutants Allowed, which is kind of like the premier Fallout 1 modding site, or just general Fallout discussion. And sure enough, there's one of the first pages on the forum says the next version of Fallout Fixed is planned to come out this December. So I guess I'll just wait for this December. That way I can get the latest version, and that way I can also be sure it's going to be compatible with the Steam or GOG versions of the game. And I haven't decided which of those I will play just yet, because I'm not sure what difference it makes, if any. But I will look into that, and then I'll pick which version of the game I'm going to end up going with, and then modding and such. And I think that'll probably be the only mod I actually include in the game, just because it does so much, and I don't think there's really anything I need to do other than that, other than maybe there's a few mods that give you more weapons to choose from, because the selection in Fallout 1 is rather limited, at least compared to, you know, like, well, Fallout 2 even, but also Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. So maybe I might look into that, but maybe not. But yeah, it's going to be an experience. And the other change too is just because of the amount of time that the series will take to make, I will probably also just record it all first and then go online with it, because you know, I don't know how long it's going to take me to do things between episodes, so it's one of those things where I'll just record the whole series in one go and then upload it. And I think I kind of want to do Starfleet Academy the same way, which is why I won't be immediately transitioning to it from Judgement Rites, is because I want that to be a more professional series. You know, I also want to tell a story with it, and then you know, and have like title art and all that. And while for this game I don't necessarily have to mod it, it's still a game that's going to take quite a while. So, you know, I might not wait until I finish the whole thing, but you know, I might wait until I'm a couple episodes in before I actually do anything, or upload it rather. So yeah, that's really the big update here. Yeah, so, you know, not a lot happening right now, at least from a viewer perspective, but there will be a lot happening down the road. And actually, I suppose I can talk about it while I'm here, because I'm sure some of you have seen this, and especially this, and it was like, hey, these stats are higher than they should be. And you know what? You're right. They are, because, and I'll explain this again probably once this series actually goes up, but I wanted to do, this series in a different way. Instead of using the, you know, the pre-made special generator, I thought of a different approach, and to take the, I thought I'd take a more D&D approach to it, where instead what I did was I made two roles for, for character skills. I made a 7d10 roll for my good guy character and a 7d10 roll for my bad guy character. What I did was I took the highest roll and gave that to my good character, which, as you can plainly see, was greatly over the, I think it's 40 points you get to start off with, because you get 5 in each, 35 plus 5, yeah. So you normally get 40 special points to start with, at least in Fallout 1. But I rolled above that, which is why those skills are higher. You know, I just took the rolls, and it's like, this is what I have, so that's what I assigned. And they aren't, you can see it's not perfect, like my endurance is only average, but yeah, that's what I decided to do. So for my good guy playthrough, yes, it'll be a bit easier. Like you can see, I get, you know, all the skill points on level up, and I, you know, just kind of, you know, tearing through these rad scorpions pretty quickly, actually. But when we get to the bad guy character, it's oh man, it's not going to be pretty, because he's going to be he is going to be at quite the disadvantage. For 13 with no ill effects. Yeah. But Yeah, so he's going to have a hard time. Which I think that's, you know, a way of balancing it out. You know, have one easier playthrough and one harder playthrough. Also, I think it just makes, like, the good guys, you know, you kind of expect them to be Mary Sue do-gooder. You know, at least that's, like, if you follow the canon storyline that they've kind of set out, that's basically what you are, as you help. You know, you go and you do all the good things, and sometimes doing the good things requires you to have special skills and whatnot. So that's basically what it boils down to. And I have that kind of explained in the backstory for the character. But I kind of like how this is going, at least for my trials for Fallout 1. So I think when I do get to, like, say, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I think I'm going to, you know, do those the same way, where I will roll some dice for the for my character skills, because I think it makes the game a bit more interesting, at least. So so that's what you have to look forward to. And I think we're just gonna finish clearing out this cave here. Oh hey, I can go again right away. Which, well, yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say. But, and then as far as mods, I think for Fallout 2, I'll just use the, it has some overhaul mod that, basically does what Fix does to Fallout 1, makes it, actually go back here. I remember, oh, nope, it's not back there. You know, where basically it fixes bugs, adds in additional story quests that were cut from the game, maybe the additional weapon or two, and that's really all I'm going to do for Fallout 2 in terms of mods. In terms of 3 in New Vegas, it's going to be a bit more extensive, so I'll save that for those videos when those finally come out, which, I mean, Fallout 1 I probably won't be able to start recording until December, because again that's when Fix comes out. And then Fallout 2, well, I expect Fallout 1 to take probably a year, well, just a few months to record maybe, but I expect it to take it'll probably take, you know, a year to record, process, upload. And what are you doing, Ian? And then I expect by then, you know, by the time I start uploading, I could probably work on Fallout 2, but that's easily going to be a good chunk of time. So, you know, don't expect a continuation of the adventures of George Jefferson anytime soon, and he's also going to have a better character name, but all of them are going to have better character names than that, but yeah, that's basically what you got to look forward to in the coming days, weeks, months, years. So, and personally, I'm very excited, because again, my dream has always been to make a story out of Fallout. Basically, I think it's one of the ideal mediums for storytelling. I just gotta figure out a way to do it without, you know, a lot of downtime. Like, I know it can be hard to fill the time when you're doing a lot of traveling in, like, Fallout 3. It's not like Fallout 1 where you just click on things and you're there. But, and I think that's going to be my biggest challenge, really. which is part of the reason why it's going to take so much time. Because again, I got to find the ideal format. You know, do I want to do jump cuts? Will I just speed time up? You know, how am I going to do things? So that's it's going to be the biggest challenge. That, and especially when it comes to anything post Fallout Tactics, the big challenge there will be the music, because you know the music is great. Don't get me wrong, but the problem is a lot of it is still copyrighted, which I think is kind of silly. But so I'm gonna have to, you know, what I'll probably end up doing is making like getting a mod for like a streaming safe radio station, because I do want to listen to the radios, especially in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. I just liked how they comment on your actions and stuff, but you know, I can't get that without the music. So I think that brings this talk to an end. Yeah, because I don't really have anything else to talk about. So with that, I think I'm going to call this update to a close, and basically get back to work on making these videos. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and we'll see you then.